Okay, this is Jacob Schmitt with deerhuntingschool.com. Just sitting here looking at a property someone had emailed me about, asked me a couple questions about it, and the property is this rectangular area here. Runs down this road here, down. Guys, this property's in South Texas. He said there's no big trees, all South Texas brush country. He says he wants to put up 3 permanent blinds. I don't know if he's talking about blinds or stands. Depending on if it's blind or stands, you may do it a little different. I'm going to kind of talk about both, maybe give you an idea, maybe a couple. And he's talking about putting up a couple feeders. First thing about a property like this here, when you have brush everywhere, the deer can be anywhere at any time. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to do is look at the area and figure out my the least impact approach that I can get in and out to the stand or blind, whichever it may be, so that I can make the less disturbance on the deer, because they can be at anywhere at any time. You know, just that simple. So, depending on, and I would assume you're probably rifle hunting. Depending on if you're rifle hunting, bow hunting, or whatever, depends on what you need to kind of set up. Obviously, you've got to have it in an area. I'm not going to keep zooming in and out because I really haven't even looked at the property yet. But obviously, you want your blinds in an area that you can, have a clean shot. Now, if you're bow hunting, obviously you want them, within, 30 yards. And if they're permanent blinds, then the deer will be used to them. So, that won't be a problem. Now, if you're rifle hunting, obviously you want to get a much greater distance out of the, shot. So, I'm going to talk briefly. First of all, if you're bow hunting, obviously, if you're setting up a feeder and you're going to set up a permanent blind, whether it be a tree stand or a blind, you're obviously going to have to set it up in close. So if you want to pick an area that you can get in and out of relatively easy, without making a lot of disturbance around. Something like where you can come off this road, come down fairly easy to your different blinds and things like that, so that the you're not, you don't want to walk completely across the property to get to the blind, is what I'm saying. You don't want to, walk plumb through here. You basically want to set it up for different wind directions. Set them up for different wind directions. You don't want them all in the same wind direction. And if you can, have the wind blow into an area. You want to set it up. I'm about to sneeze. Excuse me. You want to set it up so that the wind is blowing to an area that the deer, are least likely. Let's just say here, for instance, let's just say we were going to set one up right in this area here, okay? And we were going to walk in right through here, okay? Well, obviously, deer can come back through your backtrack. They can come back where you walked in. But obviously, if you walked in this area, you've left scent and stuff here. So it, wouldn't be a bad idea to have the wind blowing right back in for 2 reasons. One, as you're walking in to the blind, you're not having scent go out in front of you and spooking deer out in front of you. So you can slip in, get into your blind stand, whatever you're wanting to set up. So that's, if you're bow hunting, you want to do it in something like that. Now, I'm not saying put it here. If you're going to set feeders on it, you can put it anywhere you want. It's that simple. Because you're creating a food source, and if you do it correctly, you can have some good deer come in on it. What happens a lot of times is people do it incorrectly. They leave too much scent. They hunt them way too often, and they shoot deer off of them. Any deer that walks up to the feeder, bam, they shoot them. and the deer pick up on it, and they start avoiding the feeders anytime during the daytime. So you obviously, you have to have a little, sense about how you do it. But you can, if you're going to put feeders, you can put it anywhere you want. It's not going to matter. I would pick areas to where they can be accessed, and I would set them up for different wind directions. If you're going to put 3, set them up for 3 different wind directions. You don't want the wind blowing, straight towards the feeder, and you also don't want the wind blowing where it's most likely for the deer to come from. I would keep it fairly close. If it were me, I would keep if I'm going to put permanent stands and feeders, I'm going to keep them fairly close towards the edges. Something like here may not be bad. Something, even here, you may put one, in this area here on this road or whatever that is. You may put, another one, over in here somewhere or something. The problem with putting them here, if you're gun hunting, you're not, unless it's a really, if you're gun hunting, you could put one here, but it'd have to be a stand. It'd have to be tall where you could see down into this stuff. That would be the problem with something here. So you're unless you're bow hunting. And even if you're bow hunting, you own the property, you can go in and cut some shooting lanes and keep these properties on the edges. If it were me, that's what I would do. I would leave the center of the property sanctuary. Don't even go in there. There's no need to. If you're only going to put 3 stands up, pop them on the edges. You may put one here somewhere. Put one in this area somewhere. You could put one over here somewhere. Set them up for different wind directions. And leave the center of your property as sanctuary, okay? And only go in and out of them stands. If you're going to have feeders on them, deer are going to come to them. Now, if I was gun hunting, okay, I'm going to give you a couple options. If I was gun hunting, you obviously, if you're hunting with a rifle, you want to get longer shots than 20 and 30 yards because it increases your chances. Okay, so let's just say you're gun hunting. And you're going to put one stand right here in this area. Okay, what you would want to do is put your blind or your stand. You could set it up in an area like this. You can trim you some shooting lane, cut you a shooting lane down through this area as far as you can shoot. As far as you can shoot here. This road, use it as a shooting lane as far as you can shoot. Okay, set your feeder. Let's say you're going to set this up for. Let me get my directions. You're going to say you're going to set this up for a southwest wind. That's bringing the wind from here, and straight. If you're putting it here, that's going to make your scent blowing straight back towards this road area in a cone effect. So this road on your neighbor's property is going to be taking your scent towards that road. Okay. So what you have is, if you would want to cut you a shooting lane somewhere down in this area, you want that feeder downwind of you, and you want that feeder downwind of you about as far as you can comfortably shoot. Because what happens a lot of times in the rut, if you're hunting that, and if it's if y'all's gun season is in the rut, you're hunting that in the rut. Let's just say you have that feeder setting here on the edge of this field, okay, and you've done the work and you've cut you a shooting lane, okay, and you're going to hunt this for a south wind. Okay, what happens a lot of times, you may have does feeding that, and these bucks will circle downwind of that feeder to scent check these deer. Okay, and you don't want them, circling downwind behind you. You want them to circle down. I made a video on it. You want them deer to circle downwind of the feeder, but still be upwind of you. You want, I may be saying it backwards. You know what I'm saying. You want the buck to be circling upwind of the feeder, but downwind of you. Okay, it gets confusing when you upwind, downwind, whatever. So that's what you want to do there. Now, obviously, if you're bow hunting, and you can still do that bow hunting, but if I were going to bow hunt it and bow hunt it on bait, I'm going to set the bait within my bow range. It may be like a crosswind. So maybe that. Okay, so let's do it in a different scenario. Okay, so here's your deal. Same wind. You may put the feeder here. Okay, as the scent's coming here, the deer's going to circle downwind, but he's still going to be, he's not going to, you know, a crosswind. So your scent's going back this direction towards the road, okay? But the buck and the feeder's not downwind of you. It's off at an angle, because what's going to happen is bucks a lot of times will circle them. You don't want him smelling you is the main thing, because if you don't set it up right, if you set it at 20 yards out in front of you and he circles that downwind, if he comes downwind and circles that, he's going to come in behind you on the downwind side of you, and he's going to smell you while you're in the stand, and you don't want that. So you want to put it out here in front of you to where your scent is going this direction. As he circles it, he'll circle it. If there's a doe in heat, he's going to come back to it. Okay. Now he may come here, but you don't want him to associate that feeder with you. So it's kind of a tough situation, but and not hunting it, not over hunting them, and not blasting every single deer that comes up to the feeder is going to help a huge lot. Consider the hunting pressure around you. That's going to depend on what you're going to hunt for and what you're going to try to accomplish. If you can talk to these people, if it's a lot of deer hunters or whatever, this house, whatever this is, if you can just talk to them sometimes, stop, say hi, see how they hunt, whatever. If no one hunts around you, you got it great. There's probably going to be a lot of deer here, but depending on the kind of deer that they're shooting right around you, depends on the kind of deer that you can hold off for and things like that. But back to gun hunting, we talked about setting the stand up at a distance far enough where the bucks will circle down, and stay down with you. The other scenario, if you can build a tall enough tripod stand or some type of stand tall enough in an area where you can see down in above the top of this stuff, you may, let's just say for instance here, okay, because I know this is kind of a hill, you're going to put it on the edge of the hill. You've got to, if you can get, say a 20-foot tripod or whatever, whatever kind of permanent stand or blind you're going to build or whatever, if you can get it up tall enough where you can look down into this stuff. Okay, so then you set you've got your feeder out here. Do it the same way with that. You want to do it to where the deer are going to circle it, and you want it far enough. If you're rifle hunting, don't put it where it's the hardest shot that you can make. Put that dude out there 100 yards. You should easily be able to shoot 100 yards, 120 yards, something like that, where you can have a good, comfortable rifle shot at a deer that's at the feeder or in that area. Okay, because bucks are going to circle them does. They're just the way they work when they come into heat. Now, they may come in there and feed at it, but most of the time when they're in rut, which is the best time to kill a buck, he's going to circle that feeder. If there's not a hot doe been there or whatever, he's just going to keep on going. He's going to hit your next feeder. He's going to circle it downwind. He's going to hit your next feeder, circle it downwind, and he's going to keep on going until he finds some does. It's just the way they are. Okay, and that's your best time to kill a buck. So you need to set it up for that. But if you can get up high enough where you can see down into that brush, you've got the feeder, and you got bucks that are circling it downwind, plus you've got bucks that are just roaming and deer that are just roaming all through whatever they're doing. Okay, if that makes sense of you. You may not be able to get 100, 200 yard shots all out through here. But, let's say you've got it set up here. You may be able to, have you shooting, if you can get up tall enough, you may be able to shoot 100 yards all the way around your stand in spots here and there. Okay, if that makes sense to you. I do it a lot when I get into very, very thick areas with a lot of undergrowth, which, a lot of times they're really tall pine trees that they've come in and thin cutted, and it grows up underneath it really thick, and you've got this stuff that's 10 foot tall that's super thick, but I'll get, 40 foot up in a tree, which I know you're not going to build a 40 foot tall deer stand, but I'm sitting there in the deer, I can see them walking through this thick stuff like crazy, and they feel completely safe. They're completely safe because it's super thick. And the only way that, is because I'm so high up in the tree, and you can do it shorter than that, 20 yards, but, I can cover, 100 yards. And that was a strategy that I used to do a lot when I gun hunted. I would get in these super thickets, climb really, really tall up in a pine tree, and I would look down in the thicket in the deer's bedding areas and watch bucks roam through, checking does here, and they would get up and feed during parts of the days and things like that. And I could shoot down into the right down. I'd have perfectly good shots at them many times. I'd have to pick and choose my holes, but if a deer come through there, I could almost always shoot it because I could see so many spots because I'm looking down into the brush. So, depends on how tall this stuff is. Depends on, the shorter it is, obviously you don't have to go as high. But when you got 10, 15, 20 foot stuff, you got to go really high. You've got to get up above it so you're looking down in it. That's an option if you're gun hunting. It's even an option when you're bow hunting as well. But if I was going to bow hunt it, if I'm going to bow hunt thick stuff like this, and there's no trees where I can get some cover and stuff around me, I'm probably going to bow hunt out of a ground blind and just build it and leave it there and let the deer get used to it. That's probably what I'm going to do. And then the other question you'd asked was about the campsite. You can put the campsite, anywhere right in here would be fine. I would keep it fairly close to the road. I think you'd pointed it here. I mean, that's fine. But, the closer you have it to the road, the better. I guess I don't know what the actual road is here, but the closer you have it to the road, the better. The least disturbance you're making on your property is going to be the better for the deer. Even a campsite, the deer are going to get used to it if you're there all the time. They're going to get used to it. They're not going to consider it danger, but it will alter their movement patterns a little bit. And the least amount that you can alter their movement and patterns and things like that, the better off you are, because the more that they act natural. And by keeping it close, as close as you can to a road, and out of, as far away from your main part of the areas and stuff you're going to be hunting, the better. And I know you had said you're going to build up to three spots, and that sounds good. You may even be able to slip in, a fourth one. And if you're going to put feeders there, like you said, you can basically put them where you want. Put them to where you have the best advantage. Put them, if you're gun hunting, put them where you can shoot a long distance, and as many directions as possible. Okay, like here, like I'd point out here, you want to be able to shoot 4 directions. 100 yards this way, which I know you can't shoot across the road, but something like that. You may even put your stand here on this corner. You may put your stand on the corner, put your feeder somewhere here, trim you here, trim your lane here, you obviously don't have to trim here, but trim your lane back towards this road, and then you could put one here where you could shoot long distance, set your feeder, out a distance, let the deer circle it downwind and stuff, and you'll just need to remember that in the rut, which way the wind's blowing. The deer are, you need to set it up for different wind directions. Set where your feeders are. Remember, in the rut, bucks are going to come downwind to that feeder. That's why they're going to, and most of your mature deer are going to come in from that way. Even when they come to the feeder, they're going to circle it downwind. They're going to check it out, and then they may come in. Let's just say your feeder's here, and you got a south wind. The deer's going to come circle it south wind. Either what direction. Now they may come in with it from here, but that's after they've already circled it many times and then come in, okay? Or they may come from this way, circle it, come in, and they're going to kind of come in. They may come in with it with the wind to their back. But a mature deer, you can almost guarantee a destination spot like that, they have circled it. A scrape, they're going to do it to scrapes, they do it to their feeding areas, they do it to their bedding areas. When they're scent checking for does or anything, a lot of times they will walk that upwind to that area, scent check it, and then they'll circle it, kind of come in like a hook sort of into that area. So anyways, hope you enjoyed this video. I hope it helped you out. You definitely got probably some very good hunting area. Look, you said it was some prime hog and whitetail habitat, and I'm sure it is. So anyways, hope you enjoyed the video. This is Jacob Schmitt with deerhuntingschool.com. Hope anyone else enjoyed the video, guys. There's some great tips in here on if you're going to use bait and setting up things like that, and how deer use in natural behaviors that they do, especially the older they get and they know how to use their nose for more than just, guys, deer aren't just out walking around they're not walking downwind of everything just because people hunt them. That's not the reason they do that. They're doing that because they live by their nose. Bucks, when they scent checking for does, that's just the way they do. When they work scrapes, they're going to come down they're going to go downwind of it. They're going to smell the scrape. And the problem is if a human's there and they smell the human, boom. And a lot of times they don't even blow, but they either blow, take off, or a lot of times they don't blow and they just turn and go. And you never see the deer again. But anyways, guys, there's some good information in here in this video here. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Like I said, this is Jacob Schmitt with deerhuntingschool.com. Check out deerhuntingschool.com for more tips, information, things like that on deer hunting. Have a good day, and bye-bye.